Hey guys, Gio here from the Phantom United podcast. I am a little bit under the weather, but I wanted to talk about this Warner Media article from Variety that came out yesterday. This interview was done on Sunday, and it just could not wait to finally come out. The day after Zack Snyder's Justice League had its weekend on Monday, we get this interview from Ann Sarnoff, who's the third in command of the whole AT&T Warner Media parent company of Warner Brothers. And, coming off the high that it was Zack Snyder's Justice League all weekend, I mean, everybody liked it. All right, and many loved it, myself included. To get this piece, the timing, and I mean, way to put throw a middle finger to your fans and to this movie. Like, yeah, you gave it the weekend, but you just could not wait to come out and say, "Hey, a reminder, okay, this is a cul-de-sac. This thing isn't not going anywhere. We put it out there, and now that it's out there, we need all of you to just forgive and forget, okay? Forgive and forget everything that we put you DC fans through." So, no, that's not happening. Not happening at all. Let's talk about this real quick and go through the article. And it starts off with this quote about the Snyder Cut movement and the Restore the SnyderVerse movement that is happening right now on Twitter. Literally 200,000 tweets. Hashtag Restore the SnyderVerse. And when Ann Sarnoff was asked about the movement and balancing, the voices of the fans to what the executives want, she had this to say: "We're always going to listen to our fans, but we are in service of the broadest fan base, and we owe them an integrated, holistic strategy. We are the shepherds of the franchise, and hopefully, when the fans see that we've got what we've got in store, they'll know that DC is in good hands across many different platforms with many different creators. We want different voices in the mix. For certain fans that want singular voices, they may be disappointed, but we would ask them to be patient and see what we've got in store, because perhaps the newer voices in the mix will have just compelling stories to tell. On balance, you of course want to listen to your fans, but we do want to stay true to our vision and our mission for DC and build that out." All right. The first line: "We're always going to listen to our fans, but we are in the service of the broadest fan base, and we owe them an integrated, holistic strategy." Well, your fans are campaigning Restore the Snyderverse, and guess what? The broadest fan base is actually on board. They enjoyed Zack Snyder's Justice League. They liked it. They want to see where the story goes next. Remember, anyone who's seen this movie knows it ends on a cliffhanger, and anyone who has followed Zack Snyder and his vision for DC, this is a 5-film arc. And Zack Snyder's Justice League was the third in that 5-film arc. So there is clearly more story to tell, and there is a clear demand, a calling from your broadest fan base that they want to see. People who've seen this movie want to see where the story goes next. But you don't care about that, do you? You just want different voices in the mix. And let me pull that quote up here. It says, "We want different voices in the mix." Well, you know what? The last time we got different voices in the mix, we got 2016's Suicide Squad, which we'll talk about that, okay? Remember when you were so reactionary to Batman v Superman that you decided to reshoot a bunch of the movie separate from what David Ayer wrote, and gave the movie to a music video trailer company? Remember that? Yeah, different mixes in a voice. How about 2017's Justice League? Remember the one that you are considering canon? The one that Zack, and we've all seen the original version now, albeit 4 hours, maybe a 3-hour version in theaters, but nevertheless, it was Zack's vision. And what happened? You wanted different voices in the mix, right? You wanted Joss Whedon, you wanted Jeff Johns, you wanted John Byrne, all that. Your little watchdogs that you put on Zack Snyder. How dare you? Seriously. I get it. It's your company, okay? You want to forget about your mistakes in the past and not have it be thrown in your face. We're not throwing it in your face. We're saying we have money. We will pay to see Zack Snyder's Justice League, to see the sequels, part 2 and part 3, to finish the story arc because we love Henry Cavill's Superman. We love Ben Affleck's Batman. We love Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. We love Jason Momoa's Aquaman. Hell, Ezra Miller as Barry Allen, pretty damn good. Way different from the theatrical version. Victor Stone's Cyborg, truly the heart of the movie, a standout. Anybody who you ask about Zack Snyder's Justice League, they'll mention one of the first things is Cyborg. Seriously, it's not rocket science. What are you guys doing? It is ridiculous. And let me pull this back up here. Um, where's the part I want to ask? Because perhaps the newer voices in the mix will have just as compelling stories to tell. And you know what? Yes, we are very much excited. I am excited to see what J.J. Abrams does. I'm excited for James Gunn's Suicide Squad, but still, you literally have a version, and we'll get to. Actually, you have a version of David Ayer's Suicide Squad that doesn't cost as nearly as much as Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it's more content for HBO Max, but you don't want to do anything about it. You just want to move forward with all these voices and multiverse and everything, and I'm going to support that. I will. But how, in your mind, how, and from a business standpoint, does any of this make sense? It's literally trending online. Restore the SnyderVerse. Over 200,000 tweets right now. Literally, go to Twitter and check it out. And you just spit in our faces. Not just me, but to you. If you enjoyed Zack Snyder's Justice League, they're saying that's great. Yeah, we're gonna clap our hands, but so what? And that is so disrespectful. Anyways, I have three other quotes I want to pull up, so let's keep this going, okay? She was asked about the reaction to the campaign that I just talked about, Restore the Snyderverse. She says this: "I appreciate that they love Zack's work, and we are very thankful for his many contributions to DC. We're just so happy that he could bring his cut of Justice League to life because that wasn't in the plan until about a year ago. With that comes the completion of his trilogy. We're very happy we've done this, but we're very excited about the plans we have for the multi-dimensional DC characters that are being developed right now." You know, they talk about the multiverse and introducing that, where you can have different versions of the same character exist, and they all, tell their own stories, right? Very filmmaker driven, supposedly, but that's not the case here. They they invested in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but they don't want it to continue any further. In fact, they wish it would not exist anymore, that people would forget about it. And yet, it's so contradicting because you want to do the multiverse, and Zack Snyder's Justice League, his Snyderverse, could continue in the multiverse, and you don't want to do anything with that. Again, people are calling for follow-ups of Zack Snyder's Justice League. They want to see where the story goes next. And also, and starting off, you said with that comes the completion of his trilogy. The last line on the top section. With that comes the completion of his trilogy. Again, you clearly haven't been paying attention because you don't care. It is not a trilogy. It is a 5-story film arc. Okay? And all you want to do is just end this and get rid of it and never think about it, never hear about it again. And you know what? You can move forward with your universe. And I will be supportive of that universe because I lean more DC than I do Marvel. I love Marvel, but there's something about DC that I just love more. And so I will support you, but you will not hear the end of it. You will not hear the end of Restore the Snyderverse and all that because we believe, and we were right, we believe better versions of this story exist. And now that we've been proven right, we have more support than when we did a year ago. So call me entitled, whatever, a false sense of entitlement or whatnot. I just care about these movies and I care about these fans, okay? And as a fan myself, I want to see this, okay? I want to see this. There's money to be made. It is a brilliant business decision. Okay, if you continue this on HBO Max, there is an avenue for this to exist without interrupting your precious universe that you have, which you couldn't even sit down and explain to me with a straight face. So, yeah, there is a way for this to exist. Nobody is asking anybody to just throw away what you have going, whatever you might have planned right now, and continue just what Zach wants. No, we're saying if you're doing the multiverse, if you're serious about HBO Max and producing DC content on there, there is an avenue for this to exist. But it gets worse. They don't see. There's a hashtag on Twitter, hashtag Ann Sarnoff hates money. And it could not be any more true than with this next quote that I'm bringing up. Because she was asked about David Ayer's Suicide Squad, the 2016 version. Remember, there is a lot of Joker footage that was left off the table. And if we saw Jared Leto's Joker in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and we saw that performance, it makes you think, what did we miss out on 2016? According to Ann Sarnoff, nothing worth even looking into, because she says we won't be developing David Ayer's cut. Wow, I don't understand it. I really don't. This movie will cost a lot less than Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It's more content. Okay, it would be at least a year out, right? Right? It would be at least a year out. Like David Ayer's Suicide Squad would probably, I'm thinking like February, March of 2022. James Gunn's Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad comes out this August. Okay, nobody's saying drop it right around that time or give that movie its time to breathe. Okay, certainly more time than Zack Snyder's Justice League had before this damn article came out, and just it was a complete insult to filmmakers and to the fans and anybody who may have liked the movie. Yeah, give the Suicide Squad all the time. It's full theatrical run. I think theaters might be back in service by then in August. Give it its full run. Let it have its time. Nobody's saying drop David Ayer Suicide Squad in that window, okay? But if you're looking for more HBO Max content and you're looking to maybe pull even more fans in and build off of your momentum, then swallow your pride, Warner Media, and release the real version of Suicide Squad. Okay. Will it be an absolute better movie? I don't know. I mean, if the movie still has the Enchantress at the end doing her little dance and all that, again, I love these movies. I love DC. I'm not afraid to give it tough love. Okay. Nobody's saying that a completely different, better version. Well, actually, it might be a completely different, better version because that first trailer was actually dark. But fans mostly want to see Jared Leto's Joker. Why not? Why not? Seriously. Call it an Elseworld. Call it whatever you want. Say, with the say with your chest that the 2016 Suicide Squad is theatrical is canon. Say with your chest out that 2017's Justice League is canon. Sure, whatever you want to say it. But no matter what, if this movie comes out and if it's just as good, if not better, especially Jared Leto's Joker, you can tell us all you want what's canon, what's not canon. Everyone's going to know what the better versions of those movies are. And you will continue to look like fools, WB. But yeah, that's just man, it's just like I spent all weekend watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I'm about to go into my fifth viewing. All right, because hey, remember, I'm feeling under the weather, but I'm here for you guys. I'm here for my subscribers, my audience. I'm here for you guys. But I do not feel good, so I'm gonna sit down after this, lay down. I'm gonna rewatch Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's the perfect movie for when you're at home sick and just you just want to watch something and be taken away from how you're feeling, etc. But I really want to get into this last part right here because I was waiting for Ray Fisher to respond, and he did. But the part of this article here touches on Ray Fisher's ongoing battle with Warner Brothers and apparently some of Warner Media right now. So Ann Sarnoff was asked about Ray Fisher and the Justice League investigation, and did the investigation corroborate any of his claims of racism on the part of their employees? And she said this: no, our investigator, Judge Catherine Forrest, has issued statements specifically about DC Films president Walter Hamada, saying that there was no evidence of interference by Walter in this investigation. She said that the cuts made by the Joss Whedon version of Justice League were not racially motivated. We took it very seriously, so we hired one of the top investigators out there and gave her a tremendous amount of leeway. Okay, that's interesting. The Joss Whedon version of Justice League were not racially motivated. The cuts, huh? Let's do a roll call. And I won't go as far as calling Joss Whedon a racist because I don't know Joss Whedon personally, and it would be immature and irresponsible of me to go that far. But let's do a roll call real quickly here about the cuts made in Justice League. Which characters were cut? Ryan Choi, who was excellent, by the way, in Zack Snyder's Justice League, the director of nanotechnology, Ryan Choi. Eleanor Stone, Victor Stone's mother. She was in limited screen time, but that's what she did for the character in that limited time. Wow. Calling out that dean about, you're not doing anything to help your students. Sometimes life happens. Wow. How about the single mother waitress that Victor Stone helps in the movie? How incredible was that to see? Victor Stone, his powers are new. What is one of the first things he does? He helps out a single mother who's struggling. And by the way, bravo, Zack Snyder. Okay, a lot of people your movies don't sit well because it accurately portrays how the world would react to these heroes. Yeah, people don't tip their waitresses enough. That is a damn fact. As somebody who worked in the food and hospitality industry, yeah, that is so accurate. But anyways, Ryan Choi, Eleanor Stone, the waitress. Oh, what about Iris West? Huh? Granted, she didn't really have any lines in the movie, but that sequence, the visual effects, the slow motion, Barry Allen's powers, the music sung to the sirens, I don't understand. Based on what we got in the 2017 version, I don't know why you chose that over, Iris West and that Barry sequence. I don't understand. And those are just a few to name right there. So again, and what are you saying? Okay, and we'll get to Ray Fisher's response. All right, so the last quote I will pull up before Ray Fisher's response to this, because I really wanted to see what Ray Fisher had to say before I did this video, was about Walter Hamada. And Sarnoff, the Warner Media who did this interview, talked about Walter Hamada. And she says, Walter had nothing to do with Justice League. He was not running DC Films in 2017 when Justice League was completed and released. He wasn't put in charge of DC Films until the following year. About a year ago, Walter, Toby Emmerich, me, Bob Greenblatt, Kevin Riley, and programming lead Sarah Aubrey sat around the table with Zack and greenlit the Snyder Cut. That cut includes Ray Fisher's entire story as Cyborg, which is something that he had been disappointed had been cut from Justice League movie 3 years ago. Perhaps we lost the plot a little bit, which is that Toby and Walter were part of the greenlighting that allowed Zack's vision to come to life, which includes sharing the full story about Ray's character. There was really nothing that Walter did against Ray. In fact, he offered him a role in the Flash movie. Walter was promoted recently. I'm fully supportive of Toby and Walter and their visions. I truly believe that they are great executives. Walter happens to be a person of color, so he knows what that feels like. He is bringing in diverse voices at an accelerated pace more than anyone has in the past. Okay, I'm gonna hold my tongue on this because there is a certain somebody who would like to have a word with what was just said, what I just read to you. And again, I apologize. I am under the weather, but here is what Ray Fisher had to say about all of this. And he says, apparently, some folks at Warner Media think that a room full of executives saying, we can't have an angry black man at the center of the movie, and then removing all black and people of color from that movie isn't racist. Odd. 1 of 5. The investigator hired by Warner Media was brought on to help the company assess and evade legal liabilities, continually touting her status as a former federal judge in an attempt to sway public opinion is obvious and desperate. She is now simply a lawyer. 2 of 5. As I've said, people will attempt to shift blame completely to Joss Whedon for the Justice League reshoots. Toby Emmerich, Jeff Johns, and John Berg share in that responsibility, with Johns working directly under Josh on restructuring the script based on the exec's convos. 3 of 5. Furthermore, and this is where he quotes Ann Sarnoff from the interview, there was really nothing that Walter did against Ray. In fact, he offered him a role in the Flash movie, and Walter happens to be a person of color, so he knows what that feels like. The absolute definition of tone deaf. 4 of 5. Final thought for now. Rather than trying to convince people on what the Justice League investigation didn't find, how about you start telling them what it did? The public is a lot smarter than what you're giving them credit for. The proof is there. More soon. A over E. Accountability over entertainment. 5 of 5. Mic drop. Mic drop right there. I just that's why I wanted to wait until Ray Fisher responded and before because he'll say it better than anyone, better than me, better than your favorite movie podcaster or whatnot. Ray Fisher is smart, and people don't give him enough credit for playing chess when Warner Media is clearly trying to get him to play checkers. But there you have it. Okay, not racially motivated. All the cuts from Justice League. We've all seen the movie now. The shoe is starting to fit. Okay, again, I don't know Joss Whedon personally. I don't know Jeff Johns personally. I never want to know them personally. But based on who was cut from the movie and what Ray Fisher has been saying, look, okay, the whole argument about well, he's probably just saying that or this and that. Come on now, seriously, it's. But yeah, I told you guys. The work will not be finished. Okay, we'll get our weekend to enjoy Zack Snyder's Justice League, but they did not waste a minute. They didn't hesitate at all. They said, "Let's put this out there," and yeah, back to work, guys. Back to work. Weekend's over. Vacation's over. Time to get back to work. I'll soon be joining you as soon as I get better. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I wanted to talk about this. Leave me your thoughts on what you think about this whole article. Warner Brothers, what the hell are they doing? Seriously, what are they doing? Let me know your thoughts on the movie too. I did a review on Zack Snyder's Justice League, but I honestly felt like I didn't talk about it enough, and I might do another video. But thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your subscriptions. Wish me well, and I hope you all are doing well and are safe out there. Until the next video, you guys take care.